Welcome to the Gym Success Podcast. I'm George.
And I'm Bonnie. And yeah, between us, we've been navigating this gym business landscape for 60 years combined. That's quite a few membership forms.
It certainly is, and we're really glad you're tuning in. This is specifically for you if you're a gym owner and operator keeping things running smoothly, maybe an entrepreneur starting something new, or a personal trainer working directly with clients.
Yep. If you're in the business of helping people get fitter, healthier, happier, this conversation is definitely for you.
So today we're going to dig into a really insightful white paper. It's from someone many of you probably know or have heard of, Thomas, the gym business expert.
That's right. And the paper's title gets straight to the point: the difference between selling and closing in gym memberships. It sounds simple, but there's a lot packed in there.
It really is. And our goal today isn't just to read it to you. We want to pull out the key, actionable insights, the things you can actually use, to make a difference in your gym, maybe even starting tomorrow.
Exactly. It's about understanding the practical stuff that can genuinely shift things for your business. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so Thomas starts off by pointing out something he sees as a pretty major misunderstanding in the fitness industry.
And it's this core distinction, this line between selling and closing.
Thinking back, I've seen so many gyms, great places with passionate people, but they struggle. And Jim's point here really hits home often. The problem is right here, confusing these two very different activities.
Totally. He argues, and I think he's spot on, that most folks treat selling and closing like it's all one big conversation, just one long, continuous push.
Yeah, like you launch straight from hello into the membership options and hope for the best.
Right. And that often leads to those really uncomfortable moments, doesn't it? That feeling of being pushy or awkward.
Right. Yeah. If you ever felt that weird silence after you mention the price, or you see a prospect just kind of physically recoil a bit during a tour,
yeah,
you know exactly what he means.
Those are the negative results. Uncomfortable pitches, prospects getting hesitant, pulling back, and ultimately, lost sales, lost revenue, missed opportunities to actually help someone.
But Thomas makes a really strong argument that if you actually understand and separate these two stages, selling first, then closing, it changes everything.
It really does. It smooths the whole interaction out. He argues it genuinely increases your membership conversions. But, maybe more importantly, it builds a better foundation, a better relationship from day one.
And it makes the whole thing feel less salesy, more authentic, more like helping.
Precisely. So let's break down that first part, according to the white paper: selling. Thomas defines selling not as persuading, but as solving problems.
That's such a crucial shift in thinking, isn't it? Selling isn't just the sit down at the desk.
No, not at all. It starts the instant someone engages with you. They land on your website, send a message on Facebook, walk in the door, maybe a friend brings them.
Any interaction.
Any interaction. And it continues all the way through, especially during that facility tour or that first consultation. That's prime selling time, but maybe not in the way people think.
Right. And the paper really hammers this: home selling is not about convincing someone. It's about discovery. It's like being a detective.
Yeah. What's their actual pain point? What are they really struggling with? What do they want to achieve? Their goals, their frustrations.
And then, once you understand that, then you position your gym, your trainers, your community, whatever it is, as the solution, the bridge, to get them from where they are now to where they want to be.
You're not selling gym equipment. You're selling the outcome. Confidence, energy, health, stress relief, whatever their outcome is.
Okay, so what does this actually sound like? The paper gives some great examples of questions for this selling phase. Things like,
so what brings you in today? Nice and open? Let them talk.
Huh? Or digging a bit deeper. What's been holding you back from reaching your fitness goals so far? That gets to the obstacles, the pain.
Yeah, or what have you tried before that maybe didn't quite work out for you? Understanding past failures is gold, right? It helps you show why this time could be different.
Definitely. And then a powerful one. If we could really help you achieve, you insert their specific goal here, how would that actually change things for you? How would your life be different?
See, those questions aren't about backing someone into a corner.
No.
They're invitations. They build rapport. They explore. They get to the real reasons, the emotional drivers behind wanting to join a gym. That's where the connection happens.
That's the selling, not listing features.
Exactly. So the goal of this whole selling phase, according to Thomas, is clear. Uncover those emotional drivers, pinpoint the pain, build trust by actually listening and showing you care.
Show empathy.
Right, empathy, and then position your place as the solution tailored to them.
The absolute golden rule for this selling stage. The paper is very clear on this.
Nope.
Zero talk about price. No offers, no discounts. You haven't earned the right yet. You can't prescribe the solution or its cost until you fully diagnose the problem.
It's like a doctor writing a prescription before even asking what's wrong. It just doesn't work. You got to diagnose first.
Okay, so let's say you've done that. You've really listened, you've asked good questions, you've built some trust, you genuinely understand their why. Now what?
Now, and only now, do you move into part two, closing. And Jim Thomas keeps this definition really simple too. Closing is just asking for the business.
And the key trigger, the paper states, is the moment you introduce pricing or membership options. That's when closing begins, not a second before.
Right. Because by this point, if you've done the selling part well, you should feel pretty confident that you understand them and that your gym actually is the right solution for them. The heavy lifting, the discovery, the trust building, that's done.
So the pressure kind of melts away, doesn't it?
Oh,
You're not trying to
right.
strong arm them anymore.
Not at all. You're just showing them the logical next step based on everything they just told you. You're basically saying, okay, you said you want X, here's how we help you get X.
You're inviting them to take the action they already said they wanted to take.
Exactly. So what does asking for the business sound like then? It's not about tricky closes or high-pressure tactics. It's really about confidence and clarity.
The paper gives examples, right? Simple, direct stuff.
Yeah, like, okay, based on everything you've told me about wanting to mention their goal, this specific program or membership really seems like the perfect fit to get you started. Let's get you enrolled.
Or maybe. So here are the options that give you access to everything we talked about. Which one of these looks like the best fit for you right now?
Uh-huh. Or even, you mentioned you're really ready to make a change, and I'm confident we can help you do that. Let's get you signed up today.
See, it's direct, but it flows naturally from the conversation. It's grounded in their needs that you uncovered.
That's the key point the paper makes. When the selling phase is done right, when you've truly connected and understood, closing isn't a battle. It becomes this easy, natural step for both of you.
It feels less like a salesperson closing a deal.
And more like a guide helping someone take the first step towards something positive they already want.
Okay, so let's talk about why really getting this distinction, this separation, is so important for a gym's success. The paper lays out some clear benefits.
Yeah, first off, and this one's huge, I think, it just reduces the pressure cooker feeling massively.
For your staff, right. They don't feel like they have to be on trying to sell from minute one. They can actually focus on connecting, listening.
Exactly. And for the prospect walking in, they don't feel like they're immediately stepping into a sales pitch ambush. It feels more genuine, more like a conversation about them.
That makes a huge difference in how people feel about your gym from the start.
Definitely. Second big benefit, it makes training your team way more effective. You're not just teaching some vague sales process.
Right. You're teaching two distinct skill sets. Selling skills are about empathy, listening, asking good questions, digging into motivation.
And closing skills are about confidence, being clear, presenting the options simply, and then, guiding them to make a decision. You can actually role play and coach these things separately.
Which makes the training much more targeted and, frankly, easier to master.
Totally. And the third benefit mentioned is how it improves the member experience right from that first interaction. They feel heard during the selling part. They feel understood.
So when you get to the closing part, saying yes feels like their choice. It feels like the right decision for them based on what they need, not something they were pressured into.
And that just sets a much better tone for their entire membership. Less buyer's remorse, more commitment.
Okay, but we all know things can go wrong. The paper also highlights some common mistakes gym owners and trainers make around the selling-closing line.
Oh, yeah. And why they hurt sales. The number one classic mistake.
Showing the price list way too early. Jumping the gun.
Absolutely. You haven't built any emotional value yet. You haven't really established trust. And boom, you make it all about the money. The price just becomes this big hurdle instead of an investment in solving their problem.
Totally deflates the connection.
Yep. Then there's the flip side. Being too scared to actually ask for the sale.
The hesitant closer, you have a great chat, they seem interested, they love the facility, and then you just kind of peter out.
Right. You hand them a flyer and say, well, think about it and let me know. You leave them hanging, all that great selling work, and then nothing. No direction.
Such a missed opportunity. Another big one. Rushing the tour.
Yeah. That tour is your stage. If you're just pointing at machines like, there's the treadmill, there's the squat rack.
You're missing the whole point. That's
Yeah.
your chance to ask those discovery questions, to link the equipment to their goals, to find that emotional why.
Without that connection, the tour is just a walk through a building. No hook.
And related to that, talking too much about your gym's features instead of focusing on their needs and outcomes,
Yes, we have 10,000 square feet. We have this brand new machine. Who cares?
unless you connect it. Because you mentioned your knee bothers you, this particular machine allows you to.
Yeah.
Then it matters. Make it about them.
Always about them. And the last big mistake highlighted is simply not training the team specifically on both stages, selling and closing.
Yeah, if your team is great at chatting, selling, sort of, but freezes when it's time to mention membership closing, or maybe they're confident asking, but they haven't done the groundwork.
You get totally inconsistent results. It's just guesswork. You can't build a predictable business that way.
Okay, so knowing the difference and knowing the mistakes is one thing. How do you actually implement this? How do you train your team? The paper gives a pretty clear roadmap.
Yeah, it's practical stuff. Step 1, create or refine your tour script, but make sure it's laser focused on discovery.
Less monologue, more dialogue.
Exactly. Lead with those open-ended questions. Teach your staff not just what to ask, but why they're asking it. The goal is to get the prospect talking about their goals, their challenges.
Not just nodding along while you list features.
Right. Step 2, role play. But role play each phase separately.
Ooh, that's smart. So practice just the selling part.
Yeah. Do selling role plays, give tours, or do consultations where the rule is. Absolutely no talking about price. The entire focus is on asking questions, listening hard, showing empathy, uncovering those motivations.
Okay, and then?
Then you do separate closing role plays. Practice just that transition. Practice introducing the pricing options clearly and confidently. Practice asking for the sale directly. Practice handling those common questions or hesitations about what happens next.
So you're isolating the skills. Makes sense. Step 3.
Introduce a specific transition phrase, like a bridge, something that smoothly moves the conversation from the connection part to the conversion part.
Ah, like a signpost for the prospect, too.
Exactly. The paper suggests things like, okay, based on everything we've talked about, it really sounds like getting their goal is key for you. Let me show you the best way we can help you do that and get you started.
It's confident, it references their needs, and it clearly signals what's next.
Nice. Yeah. And finally, step 4, track your numbers. Review conversions every single week.
You gotta know what's working and what's not.
For sure. Look at that tour-to-close ratio for everyone on your team who interacts with prospects. If someone's giving loads of tours but not many people are joining, where's the breakdown?
Is it the selling part? Are they not connecting, not finding the pain point?
Or is it the closing part? Are they hesitant to ask? Fumbling the options? The data tells you where to focus your coaching.
This isn't about creating robots or using pushy scripts, is it?
Not at all. As jthomas lays it out, it's about building a reliable system. A system for consistent selling the discovery part and confident closing the asking part.
A training model that separates those two phases clearly. A process that actually builds better relationships while also predictably increasing revenue.
And the paper suggests a really simple, powerful action step you can take right now.
What's that?
Think about the last prospect you had, someone who seemed interested but didn't join. Ask yourself honestly, using these ideas, did I really sell to them? Did I dig deep to understand their problems, their hopes, their fears?
Or did I skip that? Did I rush? Did I just jump straight to the membership pitch, trying to close before I'd really sold?
That self-reflection can be incredibly revealing.
Yeah, I bet. So the core message here, the takeaway from this white paper to put into action.
It's simple, really. Sell first. Understand, connect, solve their problem in your conversation, then close second. Ask for the business clearly and confidently.
Every single time.
Every single time. Mastering this isn't just about a sales tactic. It's a fundamental shift in how you connect with people interested in your gym.
It's about building that genuine connection before price even enters the picture.
Yeah.
Guiding them, not pressuring them.
And that approach, done consistently, doesn't just close more memberships today. It builds a much stronger, healthier, more sustainable business for the long run.
Absolutely. So if you're listening and thinking, my sales process feels like guesswork, or my team avoids asking for the sale, or maybe you just need help building systems like this one, improving your gym's operations, or turning things around.
Then reaching out to the expert behind this white paper, Jim Thomas, is a really good idea. He's a fantastic resource for gym businesses.
Definitely. And you can reach Jim directly. His phone number is 214-629-7223.
Let me repeat that. It's 214-629-7223.
And you can also email him. The address is jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
That's jthomas, all one word, at fmconsulting.net. Honestly, start thinking about this selling versus closing distinction. Put these ideas into practice. You might be really surprised at the difference it makes.